What's your drastic times call for drastic measures story? My coworker tried to get me fired because I told her I was having surgery on the week she wanted for vacation. When I first told her I couldn't swap because my gallbladder surgery had already been scheduled, Elaine's face scrunched up. Awfully convenient for your surgery to fall during the best weather week of the summer. I tried showing her my pre-op appointment card, but she claimed Photoshop. She said, nobody schedules real surgery during perfect beach weather, like that was a legitimate medical principle. I thought she was joking until I saw her marking something in a little notebook. Elaine started her investigation the next day by casually asking other people if they thought it was weird that I was having surgery during the most requested vacation week of the year. She created a shared document called Suspicious Medical Leave Patterns and started tracking every time I didn't look like I was in excruciating pain. When I brought in donuts for the office, she told everyone that someone about to have major surgery wouldn't be carrying a box that heavy. When she saw me laughing at someone's joke, she wrote in the document that I seemed too jovial for someone facing surgical intervention. I wanted to scream that gallbladder pain doesn't mean I can't experience human emotions, but I knew defending myself would just become more evidence in her deranged investigation. She started analyzing my daily behavior for signs of deception. She noted that I was still drinking coffee, which she claimed no real pre-surgery patient would do, even though my surgeon said it was fine until the day before. She took photos of me walking from my car and created a PowerPoint slide about how my alleged gallstones should make that stride length impossible. She found my dinner Venmo payment to my friend with the note, "Thanks for Thai food," and sent an email to HR saying no legitimate surgeon would allow a patient to eat spicy food before surgery. Elaine started telling everyone in the office that I was part of a growing trend of millennials faking medical procedures to get vacation time. She printed out articles about medical fraud and left them on my desk with certain passages highlighted. She made comments in meetings about how some people abuse the system, while honest people like her had to miss important family events. When I mentioned I was nervous about the anesthesia, she actually laughed and said, "Wow, you're really committed to this act." I had to excuse myself to the bathroom because I was about to cry because she'd turned into office drama. She began documenting everything I did as evidence of my supposed deception. She tracked which parking spots I used, claiming I was establishing a fake pattern of mobility issues. She analyzed my lunch choices, saying someone facing major surgery would be eating healthier. She even calculated the statistical probability of someone my age needing gallbladder removal and concluded it was basically impossible. When I came in walking slowly one morning because my abdomen was actually killing me, she told people I was overacting and that real pain doesn't conveniently appear only at work. Finally, she called a department meeting and presented a PowerPoint about medical vacation fraud. She had charts showing the correlation between good weather and suspicious medical leave, screenshots of my Venmo transactions, and security footage of me walking with measurements of my gait pattern. She'd created a timeline called Evidence of Deception that supposedly proved I'd only started mentioning abdominal pain after the vacation calendar was posted. During her presentation, Elaine showed slides analyzing everything from my coffee consumption to my facial expressions in meetings. She had a section called Red Flags that included the fact that I'd brought lunch instead of eating out like someone who was living their last weeks of freedom before surgery. She'd mapped out my parking choices to show I'd been faking mobility issues. She even had a pie chart of different types of elective surgeries people fake and where mine supposedly fit the pattern. My coworkers' faces ranged from confused to uncomfortable, though some were actually nodding along with Elaine's conspiracy theory. Our boss kept rubbing his temples while Elaine clicked through slide after slide of her evidence. She'd spent what must have been dozens of hours on this presentation. She stood there with her arms crossed, smirking like she'd just exposed the scandal of the century. My hands were shaking with rage, and the realization I was about to have to prove my gallbladder was actually failing to keep my job. I looked around the room at everyone staring at me, waiting for me to defend myself. Elaine was practically glowing with satisfaction. I stood up from my chair and said, "You know what, Elaine? You want proof? Full story on the channel below."